how are there only 3 first years? That's practically nothing.
Thank you. I have been asking this question for so long, and I guess they finally decide to answer it.
Sorry for the wait. Oh, your uniform made it in time.
Yeah, it fits great.
I know. I've been dogging on JJK for a good bit now, but let me join in the fun, fellas. What do you think of the new drip? Shut up, losers. Your boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what makes you cheer. Anyway, folks, I watched JJK Season 1, Episodes 2 to 5, and there's a lot to talk about. So let's dive right in. First things first, I gotta get a confession out of the way. I was kind of sleeping on the intro for the first couple episodes, I'm not gonna lie. But low-key, it's kind of a banger. Okay, let's chill out before the copyright curses wake up and get my ass. Episode 3 is the episode of Nobara Kugasaki. She's the new member introduced to our team, and initially she comes off as a bit of an annoying brat. We already had Sasuke, but now with Sakura and Itadori obviously being Naruto with his demon fox, Sukuna sealed inside him, this is Team 7. They even get their own bell test here.
No way!
That's not nice.
I agree with her. I want to know what the three of you are capable of. Just think of this as a kind of field test.
But honestly, with all due disrespect to Sakura, Nobara seems to be a really fun character.
This was the only way a poor girl like me could move to the city without worrying about money.
You'd risk your life to save a few bucks?
Ha!
You're an out-of-control roller coaster of emotions today!
This is why girls don't like you!
What a legend, I'm telling you, Yuji, the girls don't dig the creep master vibes. Anyway, back to Kugasaki. She pulls up with some crazy haki techniques where she manipulates nails, which I think is a dope ability, and she starts putting in that work. But just when you think everything is going swimmingly, she decides to pull out her inner Sakura and do this.
I'm unarmed now. Let the boy go. I'm such an idiot. It's not letting go of him at all.
Really? What makes you think a literal curse would let a kid go just because you drop your weapons? You ain't negotiating with Mr. Krabs for money here. The curses, as far as I understand, want to harm humans. But all good. Kugasaki decides to lock in and turn things around. She uses these straw dolls that seem to transfer damage to an opponent. We'll have to see what type of limitations are on it, because this can be a nutty ability in combo with the nails. I dig it. So okay, we got a lot of action and characterization for Kugasaki in this episode. But you can't connect with a character on the deepest level without a proper backstory. So we get one. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this backstory confused the absolute shit out of me. Okay, you bastards, no spoilers in the comments, but let me explain my understanding of the backstory, and you can let me know if I'm being a dumbass or we just haven't been given enough info yet. So Kugasaki lives in the countryside as a young girl, right? When this older girl, Sayori, comes to their village. She's described as kind as a nun, and Kugasaki loves her. Okay, great. But for some reason, the village hates her. My speculation is that she has some sort of connection with curses, or maybe her family was hated or whatever, but it could be anything. We don't really know, right? Anyway, that's not the part that's confusing, right? The part that had me lost is that according to Kugasaki, she would love to see Sayori in Tokyo. That tells us she's alive. But there's a shot where it looks like she's been killed or has committed suicide. So is Sayori alive or is she dead? And if you don't think that's confusing enough, the shot doesn't even look like a human being that's dead. It looks like a doll or a puppet. Maybe it's a symbolization for something? Okay, and maybe I'm reading into this way too much and it might be explained later. Don't spoil anything in the comments, you bastards! But anyway, the episode ends with this weird baby thing floating in the sky, and just like that, we're on to the next episode. Vamonos! Episode 4 got us feeling like Michael Scofield conducting a prison break. Ichichi, who's some chauffeur dude, brings us to this youth detention center, and Gojo is nowhere to be found. We get instructions that we have one job: save the humans and get the fuck out. And oh, if we run into a special grade, don't stick around, don't try to make conversation, you gotta run. But as soon as we get inside, something is off.
Deployment of an innate domain due to cursed energy. I've never seen one this big before. The door!
Yo, we did not sign up for this. This is some Gojo domain expansion shit. If it was me in there, I'm already gone, right? But our band of heroes, bozos, decide to stick around and investigate.
Tadashi here hit and killed a little girl on her way home from school while driving without a license. And that was his second offense.
Yo, this is the punk ass that killed Rika. I remember they mentioned she was killed by a drunk driver. This is that guy, Tadashi. See? I'm not a complete moron. I can catch things here and there, right? Okay, moving on.
I know you're keen on this idea of saving lots of people and guiding them to proper deaths. But think, how are you going to feel when someone you save goes on to kill someone else later?
This is a really heavy discussion that I can have an entire video on, right? But I genuinely think this element really elevates Megumi as a character. His definition of justice is so different than that of Itadori. This is barely related, but peep this justice speech from Dofi.
Pirates are evil, the Navy is just, but that's only true because history tells us so. Children who've never known peace have different values than children who've never known war. The one who wins will rewrite the definition of right and wrong.
The reason I bring that up is that while doing some research for One Piece, I came across this Venn diagram of different types of justice represented by the admirals of One Piece. Now this is not One Piece, so let's see how these apply to our characters. We know Itadori will save anyone. He doesn't care whether they broke the laws in their life or if they were morally a good person. This, by process of elimination, leads him to fall under the yellow category. So we can assume that Yuji wants to give the people he saves freedom to make their own choices, and he will save them regardless. Megumi, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. He doesn't want to save anyone he knows will or has already caused harm to others. So in essence, he's applying his moral compass to these characters before he decides whether he wants to save them or not. So he definitely falls under blue. So we know their main category now, but what about the secondary category? We know Yuji well enough to know that even if he has to go against rules or orders, he will save someone. So we know he falls under yellow fully. Megumi, we don't really know for sure yet. Maybe he wouldn't disobey direct orders, but from what we've seen so far, he strikes me as someone who will follow his moral compass regardless of what the laws or orders are. So I think he's a fully blue character. This really opens up a discussion about where Gojo, Kugisaki, and other JJK characters would fall in this diagram. I have my own theories, but I think that's a discussion for another day. Let me know if you're interested in that video. Anyway, back to the episode.
Run! We'll find her later! Right now!
A special grade pulls up, and by this point I got my brown pants on. But Itadori sticks behind and tells Megumi to run. Unfortunately for our boy Yuji, special grades are a little bit outside of our comfort zone, and Itadori gets a lot of bit fucked up by the curse. Luckily for Kugisaki though, Megumi comes to the rescue and manages to save her.
We're out here now!
On the other end, Itadori has no choice but to let Sukuna take over.
That must be the signal from Fushiguro.
Incredible. What a pain this brat is.
The one question that came up for me during this fight is, what is it exactly that gives curses personality and speech? Like, clearly being a special grade isn't the underlying reason, because the special grade we're up against right now doesn't talk, but Sukuna does. Does it have something to do with the curse's origins? We know Sukuna was initially human, so maybe that has something to do with it. Anyway, I digress. Again, if I missed the answers, let me know, but no spoilers past episode 5 of season 1.
I was only planning to slice you into 3.
So Sukuna, this bastard, seems to be toying with the special grade. Clearly, just because they're in the same category doesn't mean they're on the same level. We also learned that cursors actually heal much better than Jujutsu sorcerers. Let's note that down.
Domain expansion. Malevolent Shrine.
Sukuna pulls up his domain and that shit's kinda fire, I can't lie. Malevolent Shrine got me feeling like Bonkai. And guess what? Turns out the special grade curse had a Sukuna finger inside him. Pause! Yo, the show really got me saying the wildest shit. Sukuna takes it back, and at the end of the episode we find out that Itadori can't switch back for some reason. Jumping into episode 5, it looks like Sukuna has pulled up on Megumi and gives him the work.
Give me more. Put more curse behind it. When you strike me.
Megumi, tries to fight back, but isn't very successful. I respect the effort though. Seems like an easy clap for Sukuna. So here comes my theory, right? I've been doing a lot of thinking. Don't laugh, you bastards. I've been thinking, right? Sukuna has just 3 out of 20 fingers at this point and has an insane amount of raw ability, just like Yuji. That's one. Number 2, Yuji didn't die when he consumed the finger, right? So maybe there's some compatibility with their bodies or DNA. And we know Sukuna was human at some point 1,000 years ago before he grew 4 arms or whatever the fuck, right? What if they're related and Sukuna is like his great-great-great-great-grandpa or something, and that allows them to share the same body so seamlessly? Yuji's parentage is already mysterious, so this would make sense. Anyway, if I'm right or I'm wrong, don't spoil shit in the comments, you bums.
She deserved happiness more than anyone ever did. But Tsumiki was still cursed. While the father who named me Megumi, with no regard for my gender, is still off somewhere living as he pleases.
Anyway, moving on from my crackpot theories, we learn a lot about Megumi this episode. His Shikigami are shadow-based, and he keeps getting flashes to some dead girl from his past. We also learned that, just like Yuji, he may have some daddy issues. I'm not gonna lie, I am loving the development of the contrast between Itadori and Megumi. The way they are yin and yang to each other is beautiful, and I really hope it doesn't become too tropey because the current balance is excellent. Despite being so different, you can tell they have a lot of respect for each other already.
That's the way. So this is when you start burning through your life. Megumi! Show me what you got!
Sacred treasure. Swing and ring.
Just as we are about to see Megumi unlash sacred treasure and put Sukuna in the dirt, not really, but that'd be fun. Itadori takes control of his own body again and dies. Moving away from this scene, we find out that this whole prison situation and special curse was set up by Geto. He's meeting with some volcano curse dude who's probably strong considering he's a talking curse with intelligence. We find out he has some sort of boss. Wonder who this could be? And they want curses to move up in the world and defeat humans. Or at least that's the gist of it. And we know from JJK0 that this is in line with how Geto thinks. Geto knows incapacitating Gojo and turning Sukuna and Yuji is the move to make, which is exactly the same plan he had with Rika. How did that turn out for you last time, pal? I know I'm coming off as a Geto hater right now, and yeah, I kinda am. But this bum is trying the same formula and expecting a different result. I have high hopes for you, Geto. And so far, it ain't looking sweet. You're looking like generic villain number 3. It's also very interesting the wording they use here. To stop Gojo, not to kill him. Makes you wonder if they understand that maybe he's too strong and their best bet is just to distract him or stop him. I don't know. Another thing I want to talk about is Gojo and the higher-ups. We know nothing about these people and they pretty much got our boy Itadori killed. I know he ain't staying dead because it's his show, but their politicking has got to stop. Need to know what they're doing and why.
I was the one who forced the issue and got the kid's execution sentence suspended. Some higher-ups didn't like that, and so they took advantage of my absence and used the special grade to dispose of Yuji.
Finally, we cut to Megumi and Nobara grieving our boy Yuji. When guess who shows up? The gang! But bruh, no Utah. Ah well, I guess the rest are okay.
So what's this? You're looking even more bummed out than usual, Megumi. Having a wake?
Maki! Maki!
Hey, I'm talking here, shut it!
You don't know why they're so down?
No, should I?
Someone died yesterday! A boy! He was one of the first years!
The Nido Flakes.
Well, why didn't you say so?
We find out that Utah is overseas, which I already want to know more about. Our boy's probably over there banging some Brazilian baddies or something, you know? Utah, you dirty dog. They tell us about an event against the Kyoto Sister School. I feel a tournament arc boiling up. One last question before I leave you guys. Why does everyone have to wear a uniform, but Panda is butt-ass naked? Can someone explain that? Anyway, see ya.